Hi Gemini, my LGBTQ rainbow family. I just want to say, so these are messages for specifically for couples that are in our community, and I truly hope that they serve you well. Unfortunately, there won't be any singles messages because as it stands, this is already 24 videos on top of everything else that Rafi has to do in the background. So if you're in the community, you're in the community. Please find yourself in these pairings. I've got the Empress and the High Priestess to represent the ladies, and I've got the Emperor and the Hierophant to represent the gents. All right, so find yourselves in there in some way, shape or form. These are for couples, whether you're partnered, married, in a long-term commitment, or there's somebody that you intend, or maybe somebody that you are recently dating and you just want to see where it's going. As part of this, I will have an offer that I will speak to you about in the midpoint. I just want to say thanks for tuning in. With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of these good stuff, and I would like to bless my decks of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance, and I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise. They help us all on, or should I say you, on your path to your highest vibrational good. So Gemini, let's see what the cards have in store for you and your relationship and your significant other. So for this, your first triplet, you have the health of the relationship. So let's see what's going on. So you've got the Death card, okay, with the Star card, okay, I think I understand this, and the Eight of Pentacles. So the first thing that comes up here, it looks like there's been either a long distance move or relocation for some of you. And what I feel here is maybe you did the long term, like the long distance thing for a while until it got to the point where it was unbearable. And then you said, look, you know what, we either have to, one of us is going to have to move, or we're going to have to relocate, or you know, we're gonna go bust. Right now, in terms of the health of the relationship, it has been renewed, which tells me that maybe you guys did split up for a period of time, and this may be because one of you had a bit more ambition than the other when it comes to the work or the career. Now, that's not to say that they are more professional or harder working or whatever. It just looks like one of you really had a goal that you needed or wanted to meet, and it's like, I can't let anything get in the way of this. So I'm going to give you an example here, and hopefully this will help. My thing for me, because I've seen a lot of crazy shit happen in couples and you know, all kinds of couples. So my thing was, I will never buy a house with a partner. I've seen it go horribly wrong way too many times, and I don't have the luck for that kind of thing. So I'm going to buy my own house, my own place, my own property, and then after that, I will be open and free to date. It looks like this was a career move for one of you that was non-negotiable in that way. And to be honest with you, I actually think this is a very good thing for the relationship, because it's now created something more solid, and it's kind of said, look, you know what, I'm still going to do this, but I'm still invested in us. And what I'm seeing here is maybe there's a lot of Zoom calls, a lot of FaceTime, a lot of, you know, like long distance stuff that you're now in the process of reconciling in some way. So that's really nice. In terms of the blessings of the relationship, you've got the Page of Pentacles, the Ace of Wands, nice, and the Six of Swords. So there's definitely some kind of travel, long distance, something that one of you has really felt the need to do that maybe separated you. And in all of that, you've still managed to maintain the health and the happiness of the relationship, even if that meant taking a break for a period so that you could get whatever done and then come back together. You've got the Page of Pentacles with the Ace of Wands. You guys are a creative, like, dynamo. I absolutely love this for you. It was probably like a laugh a minute. There's a lot of fun, there's a lot of laughter, there's a lot of everything else going on in there, honey. There's also, with that Page of Pentacles, this is kind of like things that you do that you really enjoy separately and as a couple that potentially could end up being very lucrative for you. It looks like one of you are off to study Like one of you are about, maybe this is not necessarily just like, you know, formal study. It could also be some kind of on the job training as well. But there's definitely a drive to be able to live a more creative sort of experience on, you know, on your collective own terms, which is lovely. The other thing with this as well, there is a sense that you both are in a place to kind of say, like, whatever your dreams are, whatever the thing is that you want to chase, you chase it, right? We're still going to make this work. We're still going to make this be like a way for this to unfold. So that's lovely. The lessons within the relationship, you have the Knight of Pentacles, the King of Wands, okay, and the Six of Cups. So I'm going to be really honest, Gemini. One of the things that comes up here is you are in the process of growing up. And I don't mean this in a bad way. It's a very common thing within our community. Like me and my friend, we call each other man-child because there's, you know, I run a full business. You know, he works a really, I wouldn't say high-powered job, but one that takes a lot of responsibility for a lot of things. And yet there are moments where both of us are like complete teenagers about things. We're like, you know, like having moments of like, ugh, who said this adulting thing would be fun or whatever. It looks like you're in the process of really maturing something in your life. And it's taken you a good while to get to this point. And I'll give you an example here. So obviously I'm a millennial. I'm just about to turn 40. And one of the things that I find really interesting is that my whole generation, we're all sort of still doing, you know, the figurines, and I don't think that's about not growing up. It's actually about the fact that a lot of us had parents who were already very young and didn't have the means to give us the things that we wanted as kids. So now that we've got the money for it, we're like, well, fuck it, you know what, I'm going to do this for myself. And it's a way of feeding and cultivating and supporting and healing your inner child, right, for the things that weren't there. You're going through this at the moment, Gemini, and I think you've had to do it in a very public kind of way in some regard, and you've worked really hard at it. What this tells me, though, is it's created a bit of a hyper-independence thing, and so I just don't want to see you push away somebody that could actually be very good for you, because it looks like you've navigated some really tricky waters together and still managed to grow through the whole thing. For the future of the relationship, you've got the Magician card, so that's you. Well, technically it's Mercury, but you know, it's you. You've got the Hermit card, okay, very interesting, and you've got the Eight of Swords, right? So in terms of the future of the relationship, I don't see this as you, I know everyone's like, oh my God, the Hermit, I'm going to be alone for the rest of my life. No, what this speaks to is your understanding of what freedom within a relationship actually looks like, and having discussions around how to do that long term. Now, I know open relationships as part of our community is a very normal thing. Personally, not sure I could do it. I'm kind of I'm a one guy sort of guy. But this could be discussions around that, but it could also be about thinking about what the longer term really, not just like what it looks like for you, but also like what you actually need from the relationship in order to sustain it on that longer term trajectory. And I think there's going to be a lot of really good conversations around this between now and September. So your central theme, before we get into that, many of you will remember I used to offer a Lovers Spread video, and I'm bringing those back for the Valentine's Day period. This will be open for 1 week. No longer. I won't offer them again after this, and this is just as part of this. This is the offer that I was talking about. You can get that on the link in the description box below, and it goes into a lot more depth than this, and it's a look at you, your partner, your relationship, and the connection between you and where it's all going. So this is for partners, couples, long-term commitments, and also if there's somebody that you're newly dating, or maybe even like maybe there's even an intended who is kind of showing up at the moment. You've got the Star card, the Ace of Wands, the King of Wands, and the Hermit card. Not only does this say that you are maturing, Gemini, and really coming into a new sense or era of yourself, it also suggests that there is a creative sphere that comes from the relationship. Like the relationship that you're in really allows a creative essence to unfold. And so you don't have to choose between these two things. The message here is, how do you align them so that you can stay in this partnership and this relationship long forward, right? With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a fantastic time. Take care, and I'll see you soon.